I want to know you better. That's right. I want to know you better. Let's enhance our personal level here. I made a video, which I'm proud of. And actually, as I'm looking at the thumbnail, I was wearing the exact same thing as I am now. This hat and this shirt. I don't apologize. I love this shirt. I love this hat. They're both part of my identity. Our good friend Robert, he's been a major supporter of this channel. He's been a pillar of this channel growing from the very beginning. He's really given me direction in his comments. Robert had this to say on the video I made called Unplug Hair Loss from Your Identity. Get woke. That was the video. And I'm proud of that video. Here's what he said. Robert, quote, I loved Jim and Andy. That's a Netflix documentary. But I disagree with most of your hair loss content these days. Keeps things interesting nevertheless. Happy Black Friday. To which I responded, this comment may easily become a video itself. To which he replied, he says, I'm sure you're right. I think you're exploring your position as the internet's foremost balding advocate. Nothing wrong with that. But it diverges from my own philosophy that hair loss just kind of sucks, no matter your age. And it's not a process worthy of celebrating or advocating. But we agree more than we disagree. Ultimately, a balding man can either accept his fate or do something about it. Nothing wrong with either approach, end quote. And I 100% agree with Robert. There's nothing wrong with either approach. But in a comment like this, and he's 100% right in what he says, and I 100% agree with him, here's the takeaway for us, the rest of us. It ultimately makes us all come to a realization, doesn't it, that we're on one side of the fence. Think of it this way. You're either with me, a balding advocate, or you're with Robert. Now let's kind of understand this better, because my goal in life is never to divide people. It's to bring people together despite different backgrounds and beliefs. And I do things interesting because I think so much in life comes down to our identity, you know? And the more we understand ourselves and what we believe and what we stand for, the better life is. So I'm making this video to help all of you sort that out. Which side of the fence do you fall on? Do you fall in the sense, and here's your first option, me, a balding advocate. I say no matter what age you are, no matter how bad it is, how soon it's happening, how late it's happening, I say just accept it because it's part of your DNA. Some of us were meant to grow beards sooner in life and lose our hair sooner in life. And we were meant to look this way. And this is masculinity. And I don't believe what other people believe when they think that women find men less attractive because they don't have hair on their head and they have more on their face. I think this is very masculine. And I think there's nothing to be ashamed of. And I think the fact that so many of us have this DNA, we were meant to look this way. So I say embrace it, accept it, it's part of your identity, and rock it. Because by rocking it, you actually have an advantage that a lot of guys that even get to keep their hair don't have, because they still may not have the confidence for other reasons. If you have to overcome hair loss and accepting that as part of your identity, man, what I always say, what do people find attractive in men, whether it's a man or a female? And I don't mean like in a sexual way. I mean like, you know, you have men you admire in your life that you look up to, right? And then on the same level, then there's the attractiveness to women. Either way, you're more attractive as a person, as a man, when you're confident. See, these are words coming from a balding advocate, okay? But then let's go to the other side. And I know that many of you feel this way. You agree with Robert. Let me quote him. Quote, hair loss just kind of sucks no matter what your age, and it's not a process worthy of celebrating or advocating. That's what he says. So, but here's the thing here. Like, here's why I can't agree with Robert on that, and it's okay. It's just that, okay, well, if that's what I believed, if I believed what Robert believed, and if I believed what many of you believed, then that means you're never going to be as good as the version of you that could have kept their hair through DNA. So you're always going to be lacking. You're always going to be that person who's going to be missing out on opportunities because your DNA said that you were a beard and balded man and not a Ryan Seacrest, Todd Bergeron guy. Yes, the host of America's Funniest Videos. Therefore, you're always lacking. You're never good enough. You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get the job promotion. You're not going to get the girl. You're not going to get the respect of people. You're never going to be good enough if that's what you believe. And so now you have to spend time and money and effort and parts of your identity and years of your life striving to be this guy that you were never meant to be in your DNA. You were meant to be like me. That by the time you're 60, you'll basically be bald on top, but you'll have this beard. Maybe by 50, maybe by 40. So because you weren't born with the right DNA, you'll never be good enough. See, but that's a personal choice. You get to choose. If you have a choice, which you do, why in the world would you not choose to be like me? I'm a likable guy. You like me. If this were the real world, we'd be hanging out and you'd be like, you know what? I like hanging out with you, Nick. You're a cool guy. You really help me put things in perspective. Like, if I were you, I'd rather be around somebody like me who thinks the way that I do. I wouldn't want to be around somebody who says, oh man, this sucks. I'm losing my hair. My life isn't as good. Oh man, this is really bringing me down in life because I don't have the right DNA. I know that I'm exaggerating. I know that. But I mean, seriously, why wouldn't you want to be a balding advocate? Why wouldn't you want to be on my side? Again, I have nothing but respect for Robert, and he's very important. And he speaks on behalf of many of my subscribers. But I'm curious, how do you feel now that I've been talking about this? Where do you stand? What's your identity? Can you identify as a balding advocate like I can? Or do you just miss out on life if you start balding young? Where do you stand? What's your identity? Comments now. Do it.